At 9:15 in the morning on September 19, 1944, Staff Sergeant Lafayette Greenpool eases his M4A1 Sherman tank, named "In the Mood" in bold block letters across the hull, down into a fog-choked river valley in Lorraine, northeastern France. The ground is soft from 3 days of autumn rain. Air temperature sits near 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Visibility is less than 200 yards. Poole is 25 years old. He has been in continuous combat for 82 days across Normandy, France, and Belgium. In that time, he and his 5-man crew have destroyed more than 250 German vehicles. 12 of those kills are confirmed German tanks, Panzer IVs, Panthers, and self-propelled guns, making him the most lethal tank commander in the United States Army. Then the fog begins to lift, and Lafayette Poole realizes something that should be impossible. He is surrounded. Every direction he turns, left, right, forward, rear, there are destroyed German armored vehicles. Dozens of them. Hulls split open, turrets blown off their rings, armor plates scorched black. They sit in the valley like monuments, scattered across the grass and mud in no tactical pattern, simply gathered there. Poole counts them. Slowly, carefully. 27. 27 destroyed German tanks and armored vehicles. And then he understands. He has been here before. Every single one of those wrecks, he put them there. The Germans had been pulling their destroyed armor into this valley as a salvage staging area behind their own lines. They had no idea the tank responsible for those kills would drive straight back into the same location, into the graveyard of its own victories. This is the story of the most extraordinary individual tank achievement in American military history. A story about a young man from South Texas who became a legend his own country barely knows. And about one September morning in France, when Staff Sergeant Lafayette Poole sat inside a valley of burning iron, surrounded by the evidence of what he had done, and decided to do it again. Before we get to what Lafayette Poole did in that valley, we need to understand the machinery, the terrain, and the tactical reality he was operating inside. Poole's tank, his third in the mood, is an M4A1 76 W Sherman. The W indicates a wet stowage system for ammunition, a critical upgrade that reduced the tank's notorious fire risk when penetrated. Its 76mm gun fires an armor-piercing capped round at 2,600 feet per second. At 500 yards, it penetrates 109mm of vertical armor. The standard German Panzer IV-H carries 80mm of frontal hull armor. The 76mm can kill it at medium range. The Panther is a different problem. Its frontal hull armor is angled steeply enough that the 76mm round bounces at 500 yards straight on. To kill a Panther, you need its side, its rear, or you need to get very close. The Sherman carries 71 rounds. The crew of 5, Poole commanding, Corporal Willis Groundhog Aller at the gun, Corporal Wilbert Red Richards driving, Private First Class Bertrand Schoolboy Close on the bow gun, and Technician 5th Grade Delbert Jailbird Boggs loading. These men have been together since June. They communicate in shorthand. They know each other's breathing. The terrain around Aricourt is rolling agricultural land, wide fields broken by low ridgelines, dense woodlets, and shallow valleys carved by seasonal streams. These valleys offer concealment. The Germans use them to move armor, to collect salvage. On the morning of September 19th, dense fog sits heaviest in the low ground. Temperature at dawn is 44 degrees. Ceilings are under 1,000 feet. P-47s and P-51s cannot fly ground attack missions. The fog is the Germans' best ally this morning. The broader tactical picture. On September 18th, the German 5th Panzer Army under General Otto von Manschufel launched a major counteroffensive to recapture Lunéville and destroy the American 12 Corps bridgehead at Dululourdes. They have assembled 262 armored vehicles, 75 Panzer IVs, 107 Panthers, and 80 self-propelled assault guns. They outnumber the Americans in tanks. Their equipment, by most technical specifications, is superior. Facing them is Combat Command A of the 4th Armored Division, one of Patton's elite formations. It is stretched thin, undersupplied, operating on dangerously narrow fuel and ammunition margins. And out ahead of everything, in a fog-filled valley, sits one Sherman named In the Mood. Before you discover exactly what Lafayette Poole does next, please hit that like button. Every like tells the algorithm to show this story to more people, and these stories deserve to be seen. Subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications. We find stories like this from the dusty corners of the archives every day, and we don't want you to miss a single one. Let's continue. To understand how Poole ended up in that valley, we need to go back to a small farming town in South Texas, and forward through 82 days of war that no American should forget. Lafayette Green Poole is born on July 23, 1919, in Odem, Texas, a small agricultural community south of Corpus Christi. He and his twin brother are born 5 minutes apart. At Taft High School, Lafayette is a standout football player. Compact, broad-shouldered, with the quick reflexes and spatial awareness that will later define him as a tank commander. He enrolls at Texas College of Arts and Industries in Kingsville to study engineering, then leaves college to enlist on June 13, 1941, 6 months before Pearl Harbor. He sees something coming. He does not intend to be left behind. After basic training in San Antonio, he is assigned to the 3rd Armored Division, the Spearhead, one of America's premier heavy armored formations, built around fast, aggressive exploitation. Poole fits perfectly. The 3rd Armored Division lands at Omaha Beach beginning June 24, 1944. By June 29, Poole commands his first Sherman, an M4A1 with a 75mm gun, named In the Mood, after the 1939 Glenn Miller tune playing constantly on Armed Forces radio. The name has a specific meaning for Poole. It means ready, willing, prepared to act. His first In the Mood lasts 6 days. A Panzerfaust fired at close range in the village of Les Forges ends it. The crew escapes. Poole does not. His second In the Mood, upgraded to the 76mm gun, enters service July 1st. Over the next 47 days, Poole builds a record without parallel in the American Army. At Villiers-Fossard, he destroys an 88mm anti-tank gun holding up an entire battalion. Near Liège, he turns his tank alone toward a German flank attack. He returns having destroyed 11 armored vehicles by himself. On August 17th, the second In the Mood is destroyed by friendly fire, AP-38, whose pilot mistakes it for a German vehicle. The crew escapes. Poole's reaction is not recorded in any official document, though his crew members suggested it was colorful. His third In the Mood enters service in late August. Same crew, same philosophy. His Distinguished Service Cross citation for actions of August 29 through 31 reads, in part, commanding the lead tank alone, Staff Sergeant Poole accounted for 4 German tanks, 3 anti-tank guns, approximately 50 unarmored vehicles, and an overwhelming number of enemy personally killed or wounded. Alone. By the time he reaches Lorraine in mid-September, his total stands at more than 250 destroyed German vehicles. The Germans in the sectors he operates through have begun noting that their armor disappears in certain areas. They are not wrong. The morning of September 19th begins quietly. The fog is dense enough that Richards is navigating almost entirely by compass. Poole has moved ahead of his platoon's main body. Not recklessness, but the deliberate choice of a man who has learned that the first tank to see the enemy usually wins the engagement. The valley opens below him, perhaps 400 yards wide, running roughly northeast to southwest, with gentle slopes on either side. Poole drops, in the mood, down the western slope. The fog begins to thin as the morning sun climbs. Poole sees the first shape, then another, then a third. Hulks. Metal. German iron crosses on faded, fire-blistered armor plate. He orders Richards to halt. He stands in his commander's cupola and turns slowly through 360 degrees. They are everywhere. 27 destroyed German armored vehicles, Panzer IVs, at least 2 Panthers, armored half-tracks, self-propelled gun carriages, arranged around the valley in no tactical formation. Some have hatches blown off. Several are rolled onto their sides. One Panzer IV sits with its turret resting 30 feet from its hull. Poole knows these vehicles, not from serial numbers, but from where they sit, how they are damaged, what direction they face. A Panther hit at 300 yards from the left rear, the round entering below the engine deck. A Panzer IV killed near Basange-la-Petite, showing the oval punch mark of a 76 mm penetration at the gun mantlet. He is standing in a German salvage area. Facing severe material shortages in late 1944, the Wehrmacht has been pulling destroyed vehicles back from engagement sites to recover usable parts, track links, optics, radio equipment. They have been collecting them here, in this valley. He is inside a graveyard of his own making. For a moment, one Poole will only discuss obliquely in later years. There is something that does not feel like triumph. Something more complicated. 27 vehicles. Each one had a crew. Then, from the northeast end of the valley, he hears it. Track noise. The specific, low metallic clanking of steel track on steel road wheel, carried through still morning air. Not one vehicle. Multiple vehicles. Moving toward the valley entrance. Fresh German tanks. Poole makes his decision in seconds. He keys the radio, gives his platoon leader his position and a contact report. He does not wait for further instructions. He orders Richards to move, in the mood, behind the nearest large wreck, a burned-out Panzer IV hull, its rear facing the valley's northeast entrance. The wreck is large enough to partially conceal a Sherman. More importantly, it is exactly where no one would look for a live tank. From the German perspective, everything in this valley is dead. Aller traverses the 76 mm gun toward the valley entrance. Range, approximately 350 yards. They wait. The first German tank rolls in at approximately 9:47 in the morning. A Panzer IV-H, long-barreled 75 mm, armor skirts on the hull sides. Its commander has his hatch open. He is not scanning hard. He is in what his unit believes is a safe area. Aller fires. The round travels 350 yards in just under half a second. It strikes the Panzer IV at the turret ring, the junction between turret and hull, the most vulnerable point on any tank of this generation. The tank stops. The commander's hatch swings open and stays there. The second Panzer IV enters and brakes hard, turning left toward cover. Aller traverses. Fires. The round goes through the fighting compartment at a 30-degree angle. Secondary explosions rattle the hull as ammunition cooks off. The third tank enters fast, moving at speed, trying to push through the kill zone rather than stop inside it. It is the correct tactical decision. It might have worked against anything except a crew that has been doing this for 82 days. Aller fires. The round catches the Panzer IV below the driver's vision port. The tank veers left, rides up the valley wall, and stops. Smoke rises from the engine deck. 3 kills in approximately 4 minutes. Then the long snout of a Panther's 75 mm L/70 gun appears at the valley entrance, moving carefully, hugging the right slope. Poole tells Richards to move 10 yards left, repositioning from behind the Panzer IV wreck to the corner of a burned-out half-track, opening a wider line of sight. The Panther moves into the valley floor. Its commander spots movement from Poole's repositioning. The turret begins to traverse right. Aller fires first. At 280 yards, into the Panther's right hull side, at a near-perfect 90-degree angle. The round penetrates. The Panther settles, leaning slightly, gray-black smoke rising from the engine deck. 40 seconds later, the ammunition in the turret catches. The commander's hatch tears free. 4 kills. In one position. Using German wrecks as cover. Poole orders Richards to move immediately. Other German vehicles will be radioing the contact. Support will be coming. In the mood, climbs back up the western slope and moves northwest toward American lines. Behind them, the valley holds 31 destroyed German armored vehicles. 27 from the previous week. 4 from this morning. The Germans who find that valley later will file a report noting a Sherman ambush. They will not determine that the same crew was responsible for all 31 vehicles. The scale of it simply doesn't fit within the framework of what one 5-man crew in one tank is supposed to be capable of. Lafayette Poole knows. His crew knows. Nobody else, on either side of the war, fully understands what just happened. Poole's Valley engagement does not immediately enter the record books. The 4th Armored Division is fighting for its survival across an 11-day battle against 262 German armored vehicles. Individual acts disappear inside the larger noise of war. The full statistics of Aracourt, compiled afterward by military historian Stephen Zaloga from American and German records, are staggering. Of the 262 German tanks and assault guns committed, 86 are destroyed outright, 114 damaged or broken down mechanically, and only 62 remain operational by the battle's end. Combat Command A of the 4th Armored loses 25 tanks and 7 tank destroyers in exchange. Roughly 4 German vehicles lost for every 1 American. The fog that grounded American air power on September 19th lifts by the 22nd. When the P-47s and P-51s return over Lorraine, the Germans lose 73 more armored vehicles to air attack within days. By September 25th, the 5th Panzer Army is down to 25 operational tanks. Its counteroffensive is finished. For Poole, the Valley engagement marks his operational peak, though he does not know it yet. He continues fighting for 26 more days. His total confirmed vehicle destruction reaches 258 by the night of September 19, 1944, the same date as the Valley ambush, different location, the end of his career. Combat Command A of the 3rd Armored is attempting to penetrate the Siegfried Line near Münsterbusch, southeast of Aachen. A Panther lies in ambush on a ridge line above the road. It fires once, hitting, in the mood, in the hull. Poole's replacement gunner, Private First Class Paul Kenneth King, is killed by the penetrating round. Richards tries to back the tank clear. The Panther fires again. The second round catches the Sherman on the edge of a drainage ditch. The tank tips. It rolls. Poole is thrown from the commander's hatch. His right leg, caught in the mechanism during the roll, is struck by fragments. The leg is torn open from knee to above the ankle. The medical report describes it as badly mangled. The man who survived 82 days of armored combat against Germany's finest panzer formations lies in a road near Aachen with his leg in pieces. His crew, Richards, Close, Boggs, survive. They pull Poole clear. The third and final, in the mood, burns on the roadside. The leg cannot be saved. Surgeons amputate 8 inches above the knee. His confirmed total before evacuation: 12 confirmed tank kills, 258 total armored vehicle kills, more than 1,000 German soldiers killed, 250 taken prisoner. All in 81 days of combat using 3 successive Sherman tanks. No other American tank commander in World War II approaches these numbers. The 32nd Armored Regiment submits him for the Medal of Honor. The recommendation is downgraded. He receives the Distinguished Service Cross, America's second highest combat decoration, along with the Silver Star, the Legion of Merit, the Purple Heart, and ultimately the French Légion d'honneur. His driver, Red Richards, told a war correspondent, "The men would draw straws to see who would lead the spearhead the next day. Poole would just say, 'I'm leading this time,' and stand there grinning while we cussed him out. But we'd go along just the same. By God, I think we were more scared of Poole than of Jerry." Poole spends the winter and spring of 1945 in military hospitals. He is fitted with a prosthetic leg. He learns to walk again. He does not complain about this on record, not in any document, any interview, any surviving letter. He simply does it. In 1948, Poole re-enlists in the United States Army with a prosthetic leg. He serves through the Korean War era, retiring eventually at the rank of Chief Warrant Officer II. He returns to Texas. He lives quietly. His neighbors know him as a veteran who walks with a prosthetic leg and does not make a fuss about why. His son follows him into military service, becomes a Green Beret captain in U.S. Special Forces. He deploys to Vietnam. He goes missing in action, presumed killed. The father who survived 82 days of armored combat outlives his son and carries that loss through the rest of his life. Poole is inducted into the Ranger Hall of Fame at Fort Benning. His crew members maintain contact through the decades. They are, in the way of men who have shared something most people cannot imagine, simply family. On May 30th, 1991, Lafayette Green Poole dies. He is 71 years old. He is buried in Corpus Christi, Texas, not far from where he was born, in the flat coastal country between the Gulf and the Chaparral. The valley in Lorraine is farmland now. Autumn wheat grows where the Panzer IVs burned. The low slope where Poole positioned in the mood behind a German wreck and fired on fresh tanks entering a graveyard is, in modern satellite photographs, indistinguishable from 1,000 other small French valleys. But the records survive. The after-action reports, the Distinguished Service Cross citation, the testimony of his crew, the analysis of military historians who have worked through both American and German archives. They all point to the same truth. In 81 days, one staff sergeant from Odem, Texas, and his 4-man crew destroyed 258 armored vehicles. They killed more than 1,000 of the enemy. They took 250 prisoners. They fought through Normandy, across France, into Belgium and toward Germany, leading every advance, volunteering for every dangerous position, in 3 successive tanks each named In the Mood. And on one September morning, in a fog-filled valley in Lorraine, the man who destroyed more German armor than any other American soldier sat surrounded by the evidence of what he had done, and fired 4 more rounds. Because Lafayette Poole was, to the last, exactly what his tank's name promised. He was in the mood. If you have watched this far, then you understand why this story matters. Do me a favor right now. Hit that like button. Every single person who likes this video tells YouTube's algorithm to show this story to more people. That matters. Because this story deserves to be seen. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We are out here every day, pulling forgotten names back into the light. Stories about a staff sergeant from Texas who destroyed 258 German vehicles in 81 days. About a man who drove into a valley full of his own kills and fired 4 more rounds. Real people. Real courage. Real history. Drop a comment right now and tell us where you're watching from. Are you watching from the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, France? Our community reaches every corner of the world. You are not just a viewer. You are part of keeping this memory alive. Tell us your location. Tell us if someone in your family served in World War II. Just let us know you are here. Thank you for watching. And thank you for making sure Lafayette Poole does not disappear into silence. He drove through 81 days of fire. He gave his leg to this war. He buried his son. He deserves to be remembered. And you right now watching this are the reason he will be. These men earned their place in history. Help us keep them there.